Today is Monday, November 9. My name is Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from 2 Corinthians 9. Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver, and God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. 2 Corinthians 9, verses 6 through 8. Sometime last month, I mentioned how our youth group was looking at and hopefully practicing some spiritual disciplines this year as a way of remaining more tangibly grounded in our relationship with God and one another. The youth met again yesterday to talk about the next discipline in their list, the discipline of generosity. It's a pretty core action of our Christian lives, and that's because it's a pretty core action of God Himself, even from the very beginning. Think of it. God's act of creation was no stingy endeavor. Waters were teeming, the earth was crawling, and fill and increase were the commands given. God not only gave life, but He also gave the means of reproducing life, seeds, so that the world would continue for generations to come. It was a good creation, overflowing and abundant. Now we live in a fallen creation, though, a fact that's hard to escape during these pandemic days. Resources of health, money, time, and patience seem scarce, more so than they used to be. Even so, God's generosity has never ceased. So powerful was Jesus' act of generosity in offering His very self for us, that it began to undo the curse of sin and death in this world. Through Him, God's power has begun recreating abundance where sin had made scarcity, remaking lives where sin had brought death, restoring people like you and me where chaos and crisis leave ruins. We are called to be like Him and join this work by giving generously as our God has, to focus our eyes not on the limitations of our world or of our own stock of seeds, but on His rich abundance and hilarious generosity that is always more than our own. In this way, we don't look to the limited seeds in our own hands for our security or well-being. No, we're called to focus instead on the one who supplies the seeds, because God's storehouse is stocked. Against all the droughts, storms, and even pandemics of this fallen world, God always has more provision, more love, and more grace to give, even when we've run out. It's a call to trust in God, then, and then to sow generously, giving of ourselves, our time, and our treasures for the sake of the kingdom, living with open hands, receiving with thanks, giving with joy. Paul encourages us. You reap what you sow, he says. So why not sow generously? As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you, wherever He may send you. May He guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May He bring you home rejoicing at the wonders He has shown you. May He bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.